All right, let's talk about something that has completely, and I mean completely, transformed how we all get our work done. We're talking about the huge digital shift in workplace communication. Going from paper memos to instant messages. It has changed literally everything. So let's get right into it.
No, seriously, think about it for a second. Can you imagine typing up a memo, printing it out, finding an envelope, and then waiting days for it to land on someone's desk? It sounds like ancient history, right? Today, it's all about instant pings, an endless flood of emails, and video calls that can happen anytime, anywhere on the planet. We're living in a totally different world.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to dig into the digital revolution itself. Then, we'll look at all the good stuff it promised, and also the very real downsides. And finally, we'll talk about how we can maybe, just maybe, strike the right balance.
So let's kick things off at the beginning. This whole thing is so much more than just getting new apps or fancy gadgets. It's a fundamental rewiring of what the workplace even is, creating what a lot of people are calling a borderless world.
At its heart, borderless communication is pretty simple. It just means your team isn't stuck inside the same four walls anymore. With tools like email, instant messaging, and all these cloud services, teams can work together in real time, whether they're sitting across the hall or on the other side of the world.
Now for the exciting part. Let's talk about the promise. Because when this digital wave first started, the dream was a workplace that was just better, faster, smarter, more connected than we could have ever imagined. It was all about unlocking brand new levels of efficiency and, importantly, inclusivity.
And these are the tools that made it all possible. You know them, you use them every day. Instant messaging for those super quick questions, video calls that put you face to face with anyone, and shared drives that are like living, breathing documents. These technologies didn't just tweak workflows, they blew them up and started over.
And the results, they're not just theories, they are super tangible. Some studies have shown that when companies really lean into these collaboration tools, they can cut down on physical meetings by as much as 40%. And it's not just meetings. Projects can get done up to 25% faster just by knocking down those old communication barriers. I mean, that's a huge win. But, it's not just about speed. It's also about who gets to have a voice. In the old, top-down way of doing things, a fantastic idea from a junior employee might never see the light of day. But with digital platforms, like an internal company forum, communication gets democratized. Suddenly, a game-changing idea can pop up from anyone, anywhere in the company.
And all of that has this massive ripple effect on the company culture. When these tools are used the right way, it's not just about churning out more work. You see this clear spike in employee engagement, in real innovation, and even in accountability, probably because all those conversations and decisions are right there, documented and searchable.
Of course, you knew there was a but coming, right? It's not all sunshine and productivity. Every big revolution has its dark side, and the digital workplace is no different. So now we've got to talk about the peril, the constant crushing overload, and the brand new risks we're all facing.
Oh man, this right here is a feeling we all know way too well. The nonstop stream of notifications, it's like a digital fire hose aimed right at your face all day long. Psychologists call it context switching. Every single time you jump from an email to a chat, then over to a spreadsheet, your brain pays a price. And that leads directly to distraction, exhaustion, and yeah, full-on burnout.
And here's another thing. How do you maintain professionalism? Think about it. A carefully written letter feels totally different from a quick chat message you typed with your thumbs. The speed and informality of digital communication, well, it's a minefield for misunderstanding. Tone gets lost, and messages can land in a completely wrong way.
And the risks, they get a whole lot bigger. As soon as you move all your company's private conversations onto these networked, cloud-based systems, you're basically opening the door to a whole new class of threat. We're talking sophisticated cyber attacks, massive data breaches, and serious vulnerabilities in the very tools we need to do our jobs.
This quote, wow, this really hits the nail on the head. This always-on culture we've created has just erased the line between our work and our personal lives. The office isn't a building anymore. It's the phone in your pocket. And that constant connection can take a very, very real toll on our well-being.
So, what do? That's the big question. We can't put the genie back in the bottle. So the only choice is to move forward, but to do it smartly. This last part is all about figuring out a path forward, about finally striking that right balance between all the promise and all the peril.
And the solution really comes down to 3 clear, totally actionable steps. First, companies have got to set clear policies, simple rules of the road for digital communication.
Second, they have to actually invest in training people how to use these powerful tools responsibly. And third, and this might be the most important one, they have to work hard to build a balanced culture.
So what does a balanced culture even look like? Well, it's a workplace that actively encourages responsible use. Things like having no meeting Fridays or setting clear no email hours. It's a culture that actually values empathy, that reminds everyone there's a real human being on the other side of that screen. It's about promoting digital literacy for everyone and, crucially, fiercely protecting those boundaries between work and life.
So here's the bottom line. The goal is not to get rid of technology or say that it's evil. It's an amazing tool. The real goal is to master it. And we get there with a smart strategy, with ongoing training, and by never ever losing sight of what actually matters most, the well-being of the people using it.
So I'll leave you with this one last question to really chew on. Take a good, hard look at your notifications, at your email inbox, at all your digital habits, and ask yourself honestly, is your technology serving you, or are you